Okay, we're live. I'm here. The red light's on. The numbers are clicking away. Looks like I get a voice. All right. Thank you for being here. Welcome. This is the Schumann Resonances with Verde. I am your host, Verde Arbusto. Thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you showing up. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if it's not too much trouble, hit the notification bell and select all, or you will likely get none of the notification. As far as that notification, while I'm on the subject, most of my videos, I plan on doing them as a premiere. If a video is an hour or longer, I make it a premiere, and it takes people like 20 or 30 minutes to get the notification that I've put out a video. And so I make these somewhat long introductions to the material for the purpose of the subs, the people who don't get the notifications immediately. So that way they haven't really missed the important stuff. It's all part of the fun. We hang out in the chat, and I invite you to, hang out in the chat as well. Thank you for being here. So all that is why it's important for you to hit the notification. All right. So this is the, I don't know, it's one of a number in this particular series. I've talked about, I've already done the introduction. I've talked about what I'm doing. This first part here is personal. It's personal to me. I've talked about the Mayans and their calendar and all that, but I'm realizing this is more editorial essay on me personally, some historic information on me rather than of the world, say, for example. So I usually tend to stick with the technical, the scientific, the objective, and I don't talk too much about myself, but I think it's just gotten time that, for the people who are following me, the people who are interested, it's like, all right, I get some personal stuff to talk about. So, it's just time. And so that's what this sort of is. It's a more personal offering outside of or above and beyond the strictly technical explanation of the Schumann resonances and the electromagnetics of the planet, like I usually stick with. This is a little something different for you folks. Those of you who care, those of you who like me, this is something different for you. So I'm going to get into the material in just a little bit, but I think we're going to play some music, I think. Do we got anything here? We do. Hold on. All right, I had this is a new Aronmix. I've already kind of worked my way through some of it. I'm gonna hear an Aronmix soon. And then I'm just gonna get right into this. So again, I play the music, I'm gonna play about 10 minutes worth, grab a coffee, grab a lap to dance on or what have you. And then I'll meet you on the other side. And I think that's I think that's where we're at right now. All right, so let's do the music. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's bring it back. Bring it down. Bring it back home. All right. This is a good mix. This is from the 23rd of this here month. Just yesterday. Got it yesterday while I was making the last video. Or the video before the last one, anyway. All right. So, okay, let's just get in this. I think you can see everything here. I check everything, make sure it looks good. I don't know. All right. Hopefully you can see everything. There. All right. All right. So, as of October 1st, I was 54 years old. I turned my birthday. So that's sort of why I'm doing something like this. It's something a little more personal of me. It's not just everything I do is from me. It comes from my heart, right? I do these days, I do what I want to because I want to do it, right? I'm not getting paid money for doing this. I have donations. Please donate, but it's free from me to you. It's because it's my birthday. I just wanted to give something personal, something meaningful from me for those of you, the 10 of you and 10 plus of you who like knowing more about me. They're the family, the 10 of you who are my family, right? This is something personal from my heart. All right. So that's largely why I'm doing this. Right? So I never really expected to be alive this long. I've much of the better part of my life I spent drinking and paying the consequences of it. And so I have, for the time that I've been in Providence, it's 11 years now, I've not been drinking, right? So shortly after I came into Providence, shortly after I came into the state, I just got to the bottom and I just stopped drinking. So 2012 was my first year of sobriety. So pretty much everyone expected I would have been gone by now, the life I was living. And no, I'm still here. One of the last ones left standing. So I'm 54, never expected to be living here this long. Woo, good for me, but just good for you guys too. So you can, in whatever way you benefited from my videos, thank you for being here. All right, so at the time, 52, a couple years ago, 52 was a significant age because it's a multiple of 23. It's 4 13ths, and this is a calendar round according to the Mayan calendar system. All right. When I've shared about this, some of the people who know me, who know me the longest, know this, and I've shared about this, that I had an experience at 7 where I got hit by a car, and it wasn't the lady's fault that hit me. It was my fault. I ran out in front of the car. I was pretty sure I could beat the car. My two little 7-year-old legs, like I'm some kind of a sprinter or something, but ran out in front of the car. Of course it hit me, whatever. So my guides talked me back into the body. It was like I explain it that I was hovering over my body and I existed as just a beam of light, or just a ball of light. And that's how I saw myself, as just a ball of light. But my guides talked me back into my consciousness, back into the body, to finish the mission here. And we had a discussion a reminder about the mission, about contracting, about what we contracted before we incarnated here, that no one is here randomly or arbitrarily, that we all have a purpose and a point of being here, of what we're supposed to do, or what our mission is. And that's part of what, there's different portions to it, different layers to it, different levels to it, that at a certain age, you are supposed to have learned certain lessons, and by certain, as you go on, you're supposed to have come in contact with certain people, and if you did and it didn't go well the first time, the universe gives you a chance to reassess that first or second, or the initial interactions with those people that were bad interactions. The universe gives you a chance to kind of clear things up, and that's part of fulfilling the terms of the contract, is that you have to successfully resolve the interactions with people and doing whatever you're supposed to do while you're here. But whatever your mission is, whatever my mission is, we agreed to this before incarnating here. And then when you get here, we're born with a clean slate, or we're born basically with amnesia, and we have to figure it out as we go along. And that's a maddening and wonderful and terrifying part of this experience, is that we have to figure this out as we go along. And a lot of times what we had thought when we were a kid, that, oh, my life will be this or that, isn't how our life winds up 20 years, 30 years later. It's a common enough thing to hear. Oh, I never thought my life would wind up, blah, 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 blah. And there you go. All right. So I'm at the point of fulfilling the advanced portion of my contract. I've done the basic part, the family clearing, the lineal clearing. And I have to say that regardless of whatever contract you signed with people, other people, of the lessons you're supposed to learn, once the person is deceased, your karma with them is wrapped up. For this lifetime, it's wrapped up. So, good, bad, or otherwise, however you did, that's the end point for this lifetime of someone passing on. So if it's true you still have work to do with that person, it's like, well, you had the time, and you're not going to get it back. Right? And so I'm at the advanced portion of the contract. So that means that's why I'm doing a lot of this esoteric stuff that is not strictly the science and the tech behind the Schumann resonances and the antennas, and how to technically read the graph meters and all of that. Graphing meters, sorry. The time is here. The doorway is closing, right? The doorway is open now for people to go through, to walk through, to work their way through, to be at the place, to be ready to make it to the next step, the next phase, right? You will have at that point resolved the primary karma, the lineal clearing, the lineal DNA clearing of your family history. Not everyone has this, but most people have it somewhere in there. For good, bad, or otherwise, a family lineage history they have to clear out, right? That's the first most important thing. Then after that, you have your interpersonal relationship with your family, the still living family. Right? That's not something you can just dismiss. It's still there. You have to wrap it up while you and or the other person is still living. So the doorway is open, right? So now as people keep revisiting, a lot of people are talking about revisiting things from their past are coming back. And it's not just, during a retrograde it happens. It's not just that, that's happening worldwide as people are redressing all these old issues that have to come back into clearing. It's clearing in one way or another, or some way. That's what a lot of this stuff is, of people having to redress these issues. And as I say, the ship is about to leave port. The anchors are pulling up now. This is the best analogy I can give you, that either you're on the ship or you're going to be hanging around the port for another cycle. Put it that way. There's a lot of restlessness, insanity, and disconnection from the real world, actual reality happening. So there's a physical reality of this body, of living here, of Earth, of the Earth plane, that can't be ignored. It can't be just dismissed. It can't be pretended that it doesn't exist. It has to be cleared up, has to be cleaned up, or it has to be celebrated for having been cleared up. It's all part of it, right? And so a lot of people are having to force things that they thought they weren't going to have to, that thought that they were successfully resolved, or whatever, they slipped through and didn't have to face the repercussions the first time around, like all this kind of stuff. It's just getting time where everything has to be put on the counter and all of the chips counted and everyone cashed out. The old way, the old society has to be cashed out, and the new has to be put in place and set in motion. There's so many levels to what's happening that literally no one is capable of figuring out what's really truly happening now. Right? There's so many different, right? Everything is coming to a head. You don't know what's what, right? And then you get a lock on something, you think it's figured out, and then the next day, what you thought you knew is like just no more. Everything's literally getting turned upside down and tossed on its head, or tossed out, whole cloth, or whatever. Just all kinds of bizarre shit is happening. No one is truly able to figure out what's going on, even though people sort of know. And it's not that, let's do this way. It's not that people don't know. It's that they're making a lot of efforts to run the other way of how they should be to successfully resolve the issue. People know. They just don't want to do the work they need to do. I think that's the best, fairest way to put it. There's so many levels to this, and people just get exhausted. They don't know where else to go. And to tell you the truth, I'm as lost as anyone else in this. It's the best way to put it. I'm as lost as everyone else. And if it wasn't for me going to a source higher than myself, the one, going to God, the avatar, the pure light avatar of Prime Source Creator, if I wasn't going there, I would be lost. I wouldn't know what was going on or what to do. Or, I would have lost hope long by now. I assure you. Right? We're all born under the veil of amnesia, the veil of forgetting, the veil of Maya, the veil of I have no fucking idea what's going on, and I gotta make it up here on the spot. Get born without our memories, get born without the knowing of anything. Gotta make it up on the spot. I am truly, believe me when I tell you, I am as lost as everyone else. For me, personally, I will say this. The only difference, if there's anything, the only difference is that I follow the clear instruction, such as it clear, in this, under the veil, behind the veil, as clear as I can get. And I tell them, you need to make this like a big sign so an idiot like me can figure this out, because I'm not figuring out shit. I have no idea what's going on. Everything I figure out is just ridiculously off. So you have to make it obvious where even an idiot like me can figure this out. That's what I tell my guides. Make it easy so the idiot can figure this out. I follow the clear instruction of a universal power that is much greater than myself and much more knowledgeable than myself as well on a lot of things that I need to know about. I know what I know because I've asked this power to kindly provide me an answer to the questions that humans are unable to. Okay? I've said this, right? The human, they mean well. They want to help. They mean well. It's all good, but they can't help because they don't know. And if they did know, they would tell me, but they don't know. And a lot of stuff that people, the great mysteries really are beyond people because they have the wrong perspective. And I can't even begin to explain what's problem getting in the way of people getting the answers that they're looking for. I meditate. I quietly listen for a response. And one always comes in a shocking variety of ways, and I need to be open to receiving the voice that's there, the wisdom that's there after I asked, right? You have not because you ask not. So I ask, and I get an answer, and it's usually a good answer. All right, so with that said, I'm going to, I think, go on to the next section. I'm on a roll here. Why not? Let's play some more music. Okay, let's pull it back. Okay, I'm gonna pause that, and I think I'm gonna just nudge it back a little bit so we can get back in the groove when it's groove time. All right. Yep, we're live. Okay, the red light's on. I put my information up there. Tick tick. Onward and upward. All right. So new subject here. I just went into the music, so I'm not gonna read this and then go into the music. I want to try and this one isn't that long. I want to try and get all of this out in an hour, which I can do. I have like 25 minutes still left. Um, so just make sure I'm good here. All right. All right. So I'll just start reading this. We're talking about the great year coming to an end, the long count. Right? 20 the year 2012. Hello. The year 2012 marked the ending of the old great year, which of necessity marks the ending of the Piscean age. Okay, so the long count calendar that was supposed to have ended the universe at that point, that marks the ending of the long count. That just marks the end. That marks the ending of the great year. In fact, there's a number of successive harmonics, like the age of Brahma, which is 7 billion years old. Like it ends at one of those cycles as well. This is a pretty significant cycle that it's ending. Right. So Pisces is the age of the Pisces is the age we just left. The Pisces is the symbol of the two fishes facing opposite ways. And that's important to know because like all of the industry, all of the business, education, like everything was the mediated view of the cover version of the conspiracy theory of all of this stuff covering over the truth. And it's important to understand that the age that we're in now is supposed to be the uncovering of all the great revelation of all of this stuff that was hidden and given a cover story to keep it hidden. Right? The current age we're entering in is the Aquarian age, which is symbolized by the water bearer, a maiden, a female. So the age is of female polarity, is of the female, it's not, I'll put it this way, it's not a random coincidence that there's all this female empowerment now going on, like right now, and even though it's been in the works, like the voting and like all of this kind of stuff, women getting more power in the courts, right? The empowerment thing, that's coming, that's as a age of Aquarius thing and not a Piscean age thing. And the maiden is carrying a pitcher or a vessel of water, pouring forth its contents. All right. So this is in principle the age when everything is supposed to come out, become clear, and a lot of stuff is going to be revealed as per celestial design. So the water bearer, that's part of what it is. The water dissolves everything and it comes out clean. That expression, it comes clean in the wash, or it'll even out in the wash. That's part of what the idea is, as per celestial design. Before the benefits and glory of the Aquarian age truly can begin, the old accounts and those accounts that are still left over from the previous age need to be figured out, and they need to be closed out, which is easier said than done, right? Some of the old accounts from the previous age still have not called in their intention to give up willingly and acknowledge that they are now overdue, but they don't know how to come clean. Right? By accounts, and when I say by account, By account, when I call the account, it's a relative phrasing of the end of the age when there is an accounting for everything from that age wrapping up. So whatever the bullshit, the ridiculousness, the unfairness of that age that was part of it needs to resolve itself before we can all go forth into the new promised land, right? It's really important that everyone, even the lowest of the low, the dumbest of the dumb, the dumbest of the bunch, all of them, the most asleep of the bunch, they all, even them, the last of the last, have to do all their clearing, and none of us are going to be going into that new land until that all of the final counting, clearing is done, right? Some people are further on, so it's like, well, I'm waiting for the rest of you, and I'll do what I get to do, and whatever. But some people are more used to having other people doing the work for them, that they don't know what their work is. They don't know what their work is supposed to be, right? And so that's part of one of the problems is getting people to understand what their work is and what they're supposed to be doing and what their job is, and don't look over someone else's shoulder and tell them what to do about their job if you haven't finished your job and your clearing, and you're still a miserable, shitty person, right? You can't do anything else for anyone else. You need to heal yourself. If you're a miserable wretch, there's nothing else that anyone can do for you. You need to fix that. You need to fix your problem. Your life would probably be happier if you would just focus on your own stuff and your own problems and resolve those for yourself. And why? Just because they need to be. There's no reason, nothing else more than that. There is no reward greater than fix your problems, fix your life, because it's a wreck and you need to fix your own fucking life, and stop worrying about your neighbors, and stop calling the cops on your neighbors because they had a barbecue in their backyard and you're not a meat eater. Fuck you. Get your own shit in order, right? So, along those lines, it's important to know going woke is not a suitable substitute for holding yourself accountable for bad behavior. Don't tell the rest of us how to live our lives. You just live your life and show the example of your life how much better your crappy life is. Stop preaching to the rest of us that you have some allegedly better idea of how stuff works, and you're not doing your work and making things better. Going woke is a joke. Going woke is not a suitable substitute for doing the work that you need to do as a human being at this time. Fortunately, I'm not the judge of this. The jury, I'm not the executioner. I don't have to figure this out. I only had to figure out my own shit, and that's enough. That's all I needed. I've done that. I'm ready to move on. Right? I am not the judge, jury, the executioner. I am simply a messenger. I am the last grand emissary of the council. Right? Before the time comes, I'm the last emissary. I work to keep my own affairs in order. I work to keep my side of the street clean. It's that simple, but it's also a goal. Right? One day at a time. I may not make it, but it's the goal of keeping my side of the street clean, my affairs in order. You know, I can't do anyone else's work. I can't do anything for them. I can't do their work. They can't do it for me. But if I do my part of it, if I keep my side of the street clean, as it were, plant gardens everywhere, then the world is a better place, and people see, oh wow, hey, that guy's doing a good job. Maybe I should do something for my own self that I can do. All right. Anyway, so on that cheery note, 44, perfect. All right. So we're gonna play some music. I don't know, about 5 minutes ish worth of music, and then be out of here in under an hour. So on that cheery note, what do we got? Alrighty, so I'm going to play a few more minutes of this and then close it out and then be done with the video. So this one's going to be under an hour, but I'm still going to make it, it's close enough to a premiere length. Why not? The rest of them are going to be a premiere. So anyway, on that cheery note, thank you all for being here. Namaste. Back up.